I told you, 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 I told you. I told you guys not to worry. The same Arsenal, the same Spurs, and now United, they were all going to bottle it. I told you, they're not consistent enough. But, hey, tomorrow is a must win. This is your preview to the Chelsea versus Burnley game tomorrow. It's a must win. No draws, no losses. Must win. I don't care if it's 5-4, 1-0. We have to walk out the victors, right? These are 3 precious points. They're gifting us top 4. We bottled it the first time, right? When Tottenham lost to Burnley, right? Who we face tomorrow. And Arsenal dropped points as well. It was our opportunity to finally get into the top 4 or put pressure at least onto the top 4. But this is now a golden opportunity. Everybody has lost. Man United has lost 4-0 to Everton. Thank you, Everton. And Palace, who looked a bit like they were going to give the game back to them, right? Because you can never trust Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, once Arsenal tied it 1-1, I was a bit nervous because Palace, they've been struggling all season to score goals. But Christian Benteke came out of nowhere, scored his first goal of the season. Like, yeah, it's all lining up, isn't it? It's all lining up, and everything happens for a reason, right? Sarri has to stay. This is clearing the path because if the rumors were if Maurizio Sarri did not finish top 4, then he was gone at the end of the season, right? But now, if we win against Burnley and we win all our remaining fixtures, our possibility what it looked like it was no possible chance of us finishing top 4 because they all had a game in hand. Now it looks like if we win all of our games, right? Top 4 is ours, and we can still go after the Europa League trophy. So if we finish top 4 and get the Europa League trophy, I think we could all say this was a great first season for Maurizio Sarri. 2 finals and 1 victory. When the first one, arguably we should have won that. And the penalties are 50-50, but I feel like we played the better game against City. I'm still not living that down. But until we can get, a trophy maybe, I'm probably not going to ever live that down unless we can get the Europa League trophy, right? It'll wipe all my tears away. So, hey, tomorrow we have to play. I don't know. I was thinking that we had to rotate a little bit because we had the Europa League, and we still have to play United. So there's a lot of games coming up. Some players have to rest. Like Loftus-Cheek, he can't play a full 90 minutes. But I'm tempted to play our strongest team against Burnley because I was like I said in my last video, I was considering putting all our eggs in the Europa League basket because there's no possible chance. Well, not no possible chance, but the chances of us getting the top 4 through finishing top 4 instead of Europa League, or qualifying for Champions League through getting into the top 4 instead of winning the Europa League. It didn't look likely that we were going to be able to finish top 4 in the league, even if we won all our games. But now, the bottle job has happened, and Arsenal are being Arsenal, R6-0. And, yeah, for all you Man United fans that kept slating Mourinho, that he didn't know what he was doing, he got this team, he got that Man United team that just lost 4-0 to Everton, inconsistent Everton, right? He got them to the second place. He finished second place. And only reason why they didn't win the league because usually 87 points is more than enough to win the league in the Premier League. But City had pretty much a flawless season. They had over 100 points that had never been done in the Premier League. They shattered our record, right? They got 103, 105 points, something like that. They got in the 100 point range, right? That's almost flawless. So the fact that he got them into second place with an 87 point finish, right? 9 times out of 10 they will win you the league. But like I said, even this season, it's going all the way down to the wire, and The Premier League won't be decided pretty much until the last game of the season. I'm pretty confident that Liverpool and City are going to win all their remaining fixtures. Hopefully, they can beat United as well, so they can just put them to bed, right? Because they have to play City next, and they just lost to Everton, so you can pretty much put United away. The players don't look together, and they're showing signs of, you know, how we were with the end of Mourinho stint. And I told you guys that after this honeymoon suite, like when they were winning, and, undefeated, having this unbeaten run, it was the honeymoon phase. Those are the same players that gave up on Mourinho. Nothing has changed. The character is still the same. And as soon as you see any signs of adversity, they were going to fold. I told you guys that, and you guys should know this. It happens every season. I don't know why they keep hyping the Spurs fans' head up or the Arsenal fans' head up. They do the same thing every year. They may have this good spell when they may win 15 games out of 20 and draw 3 of them. Something like that. Like a really good form, really good form. And then towards the end of the season or somewhere in between, they just bottle it, right? Whether it's due to injuries and that's something that they really can't control. But most of the time, it's them just being them. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. I'm telling you, they are equivalent to the Dallas Cowboys, right? If we were to talk American football, they are the equivalent, and their fans too. They're the most obnoxious fan base of all time, but they haven't won anything in years, decades, and it's getting there. It's getting up there with Arsenal and definitely Tottenham. I mean, it's almost a century, right? This has been since the 1960s. Since you guys won the league, won a league, a top division title. You guys have never won the Premier League, but I told you guys. I told you guys. Now that I'm got my banter out of the way. We have to win against Burnley. There's no ifs, ands, or but about that. We have to win. Like I don't want to see the same thing I've seen against Slavia Prague, where we started out very well. Like the football we were playing against Slavia Prague within the first 20 to 25 minutes, when we got 4 goals in one half, like amazing. And we conceded 1 goal because we're lazy defensively. We had a little defensive lapse, but we already know that our two most vulnerable. This team is very vulnerable to the counterattack, and they're very vulnerable on set pieces because we don't have much height, and we do zone defending in the on set pieces and set plays. So everybody has a certain area that they have to cover, and sometimes miscommunication can lead to stuff like that. So yeah, everything is open up for us. We can finish top 4 and win the Europa League, and I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. But like I said, even if we are to qualify for the Champions League, hopefully this transfer ban is lifted. If not, we have to invest in our youth and trust them, because this squad that we have now is not good enough to make it out of the group stage of the Champions League. I just don't want Arsenal or Tottenham in the top 4. That's the only relief I get from that. So if we qualify for the Champions League, we have to do some serious, like, get all the dead wood out of the team. A complete overhaul from every position, right? We have Pulisic coming in. Hudson-Odoi, he's gonna start getting more game time, and then Hazard. There's been slight chances that Hazard might stay, only due to Real Madrid being linked to Mo Salah and Sadio Mane and other wingers that play in the same position. Of course, they're not gonna go for all 3 of those guys, right? So if they can't get Hazard, or if they can't get any of the other 2, if they can't get Sadio Mane, right, or they can't get Mo Salah, then they might come in for Hazard, or vice versa, right? If they can't get Hazard, then they go after Sadio Mane. If they can't come to agreement with us, because we want at least 150 million for Hazard, and he's worth more than that. If you ask me, I feel like if we had more years on his contract, we would probably be able to get at least 200 million, or maybe more than that. But yeah, all this notion that Sadio Mane and Sterling are better than Eden Hazard because they score more goals It's not all about goal scoring, and it does help out a lot when you have teammates like De Bruyne and Silva and Sane. You know, you have players that take the attention away from you. But with us, Eden Hazard is doing all this. He has 15 goals and 10 assists. Only him and Messi have double digit in goals and assists, right? So the fact that he's still doing this when everybody's keying in on him, when he's the main man, right? It says a lot, and he does a lot more than just score goals and get assists. They have to key in on him because he's just so crafty, and he's deadly inside those half spaces, and you know, just he influences the game so much more than just scoring goals and assisting. He takes the attention away from everyone else. That's why it really would help if we had a complete team. Like if this team was actually like filled with class players, like instead of the deadwood that we have on this team, Eden Hazard would have at least 20 goals. At least 20 goals and maybe 15 assists. He probably finished with 25 assists and 15 goals. That's 25 goals and 15 assists. That's how good he is. And yeah, that's my little spiel about that. But you already know tomorrow is a must win, and I don't even care who plays tomorrow, honestly, because I've said rotation, but then again, tomorrow is a must win game, so we might need to play our strongest team. So you know, Rudiger is still out, so Christensen is probably going to start, and Garrett Cahill might get some minutes because, like we're very limited in who we have. So with Rudiger being down, there's been reports that Garrett Cahill has been called up to come back to the team and possibly play. So you know, I don't at this point I don't even care. Like I said, if we win 5-4, we win 1-0. Well, 3 points is 3 points at this point. It's not about tactics anymore. It's about will and who wants it more at this point. It's no more about tactics. And Burnley have been on a bit of a rut lately. They haven't won many games recently. They've lost a lot of points, a lot of games. So yeah, hopefully we can exploit that and take advantage of that, because if you look at our schedule, only team that you know that can be competitive against us is Man United, and I don't see their defense. I'm telling you, their defense is worse than ours. We have a better defense than they do. We may think our defense is shit. No, Man United's defense, like they have Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, and yeah, I'm gonna stop at that because and they had Leon Bailey too. So you know, or is it Leon Bailey or Bailey? I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know what I'm talking about. Their best defender is David De Gea. So good times, guys. Also, I want to leave you guys with a question. Do you guys think we should go in for Lukaku? Because I feel like he's been kind of a scapegoat. I know that recently he hasn't been in the best of form, but the team as a whole, Man United, hasn't been in good form. I feel like he's still a good quality striker. He's better than the strikers we have on our team now, right? His only problem is his touch. His touch is like it's not good, but he's a great finisher on the ball. He can finish with both feet, and he links up play quite well. He sets up his teammates. I say better than the average striker. I think he has an eye for a pass too. Like his passion and vision is underrated. But I'm gonna leave you guys with that thought. Who do you guys think that we should? Who do you guys feel like from our youth academy, right, or our loan army? Who do you guys feel out of those batch of players? You know, your Mason Mounts, your Olaina, even include Loftus-Cheek and Ampadu and Hudson-Odoi, right? Who do you guys feel like is the next legend, right? Because you have Lampard and Jody Morris working with Mason Mount at Derby County, who's doing a fantastic job, right? Jody Morris is very responsible for our youth system. Before he left, he had his hands in all our youth, right? Pause. That didn't come out right. But you guys know what I meant. He has a big influence on our youth academy and how well it's grown and how it's constantly the best in the league and best in the world. We're always winning European honors and all that, right? We're always competing for the European honors, and I think it was a long spell when we were undefeated, like for a long time. So yeah, and then you have Tammy Abraham at Aston Villa, who's the only player. Well, it was only two players in the championship that have 25 goals or more, right? And that's Tammy Abraham and some other kid, I don't know, some other striker, I don't know. But 25 goals is not easy, guys. So I'm looking at that lone army, and it's looking quite well. You know, it's what we've been preaching on, what we've been asking for, and hopefully with this transfer ban, whether it's there or not. See, that's why it's so positive, right? We can look at it in a positive way either way it goes, because if the transfer ban is lifted, we are able to go out and get players, quality players, even like Nicolas Pepe, right, from Lille, same place that Eden Hazard came from. We can go after him. And if Eden Hazard decides to leave and we sell him for 100 and whatever million, we can buy him for 70 million. That's a bargain because we were investing in a young player. But then again, you look at it, we already got Hudson Odoi there, who plays on the left hand side, is in the same position, so he'll be fighting for his position. And you have Pulisic coming in as well. So uh, it's either way it goes, because if the transfer ban it stays and the appeal is like, you know, rejected, we can look at our youth and bring them back in. Like I said, either way it goes, I'm happy because uh, it works out either way, right? I will much rather have, if there's a way that we can do both invest in youth and also get rid of the Darewood and bring other players in. Because like I said, this team needs a complete overhaul, and the more players, the more better players, the better. And yeah, I'm upbeat about tomorrow, so hopefully we can get the job done. Up to Chelsea and Tottenham, Spurs, United. It happened again. It happened again. It happened again. You bottled it. You bottled it. You bottled it. Up to Chelsea.